Hey guys, I wanted to make this video going over the SSR Hero Selection Ticket, who you should pick and why you should pick them. Um, so if you haven't watched my dev notes overview video, I'll have a link for it in the description and probably put it somewhere right now. Um, they are going to be increasing the difficulty for Gila and for Orgot. And we don't know exactly how these bosses or these new restrictions, if there's going to be new restrictions, are going to work. But they have said, where is it? Here, that these encounters will feature Earth as a primary weakness, along with an additional weakness that includes both Earth and Darkness. So right now in the game, um, if we go here and go into the details, recommended element Earth and weakness, right now you don't really need to use the recommended element because the teams are way too strong right now. Melee specifically is way too strong that he just doesn't care if the enemy has a restriction for an element, or even if we go to Orgot here, sorry, you see weakness, earth, and darkness. But again, melee is already strong. Now it is nice that he has a darkness weakness, because that does mean that melee is already doing more damage or is doing better than other units here. But with Gila, the issue with her is that Gila is just really annoying, you know, dashing around the map, not really giving you enough time to um, respond and attack her. So you're just like, either you burst her down before she bursts you down, or you're just strong enough where you can, you know, not really care about her. So yeah, um, we will also need to see how it works, how these new restrictions or these new um, mechanics work. If you like need the specific unit or to have the specific element present before you can build the rest of your team. If there's going to be like a specific debuff that they're going to lose, or not debuff, but they're gonna have like a damage reduction buff of like, I don't know, 60, 70, maybe even 80%, and then you once you activate the corresponding burst, in this case Earth, then the debuff goes away and then you maybe do more damage or you just do regular damage and whatnot. So we're gonna have to see how that works. Now, in terms of the characters themselves, so there's um in my opinion, if you don't already have her right now, Diane is probably going to be the best pick out of the SSR characters. So if you don't know, the SSR characters are every character that is present in this banner, the regular banner. So all of these characters, basically everyone save for Melee, because he's the only summon, like actual summonable character right now. And the thing is, right now with Melee's team, Um, one of the reasons, and I'll talk about it once I'll be making my tier list video, one of the reasons Jericho is so good right now is because she's the best enabler for melee. She builds the gauge probably the fastest and the most consistently. Um, so she's probably outside of these bosses, I would assume, still going to be best in slot for melee. But I think with Glove Diane, so go here, um, go to her abilities on Glove. Um, there we go. Her passive increases the burst gauge once you have Passion um, by 20 with each hit, up to 5 times. Um, and it's not that hard to build up Passion. You just need to alternate the special attack, and this also increases the burst, and you also have heavy metal. So yeah, she's very efficient in um, building up the burst gauge, and she does do good damage as well. Diane is no slouch either, so I imagine the team that you would bring to this fight is going to be somewhere along the lines of um, Diane, Melly, Manny, and probably Elaine, or if you have Ray, um, something along those lines. Um, yeah, but then Ray probably for sustain. I highly doubt anyone built Earth Ray, but you could if you want consistent consistency. And with the lane, you can choose if you want the staff or the grimoire. Because the grimoire, if you don't know, um, first of all, you do earth damage, and it works well with shields, defense, and whatnot. So it kind of builds into what Diane wants to do. So what you would do is like get the buffs, these two buffs with Elaine, um, and then swap to Diane, build up your burst gauge, and then go to Manny, use her buffs, then go to melee and wipe uh, the enemy. So it's basically the same thing that this team does, except instead of Jericho, you just have Diane, and instead of Elaine, you just have, or like, instead of Staff Elaine, you have Grimoire Elaine. So yeah, um, in my opinion, Diane is gonna be the best pick. Um, also, I wanna, because I haven't checked, but uh, potential. Okay, so there's nothing here that I'm seeing that increases the burst fill up. Oh, wait, this was the gauntlets. Sorry. The gauntlets. See? I mean, this will buff your damage if you can get to it. Um, but I don't see anything that is buffing the burst build up. So yeah, this is the edge that Jericho has over Diane. If you have Jericho on tier 5, you increase the burst gauge by an extra 100%. So basically times 2. So I would say if you don't have a lane and you don't have Jericho, I would still say go for Diane simply because of these new difficulties, and these are going to be your main farming source. as I'm saying it. Um, but if you don't want to do that, or if you're like not a hardcore player, you're more casual, free to play, you take your time with the game, and you're not going for the top tier, the creme of the crop, um, or however you say it, Stan, um, then I would say go for Jericho because she's going to be the best. Like these two are going to be the best enablers for Meliodas until we get Merlin and Gother, which I assume are going to um like once they release the team is probably going to be Meli, Merlin, Gother, and um Manny. So yeah, this is who I think you should go with your pickup. Manny is also a good choice if you have, say, both Jericho and Diane, or yeah, both Jericho and Diane, and you're missing Manny. She's a very good pick. Um, Other than that, if you have like all three of these characters, I would say Elaine is going to be the next best thing because she's a very good support. She enables a lot of team, and she's a very good flex unit as a fourth unit. And if you're like more casual, again, you can make like a pretty good Elaine DPS win team. She does decent damage, and she has a lot of um, combo burst with a lot of characters. Um, so so here she has, as you can see, a lot of burst combos or ult combos. So yeah, she's also very good. The rest of them are kind of meh. Drake, Villa, and King are kind of meh. They're nothing too crazy, I would say. So yeah, if I had to rate it, I would say Diane, Jericho, Manny, Lane. This would be my order. Um, for pickup, and then uh, probably King, then Drake, and then obviously Gila. Everyone has Gila. She was given up for free. So yeah. So this is who I think you should go for with the SSR pickup ticket. Hopefully we'll see more things like this in the future when we get like exclusive characters maybe, or something like that. I hope. Um, but yeah, for me, I'm probably gonna go for Jericho, because I do want to get, as I said, um, the tier 5 potential. But I might not go for it depending on how my TC pools go. So we'll see who I'll go for. So thank you guys for watching. Hope this helped you a little bit, um, to consider who to go for, who's good, who's meta, and whatnot. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.